What is up, all ClemsonTigers.com family? Welcome back to the Best Damn Sunday Reset. I am your host, Cole Gerard, back again for another Sunday Reset. Haven't done one since the Sunday after the Louisville game, so that was a tough night after that game. So it's a rough Sunday. Didn't get back after the Virginia Tech game because I was in Blacksburg. Didn't get home till late after that Sunday night. Yes, we're going to jump right into this episode with the Pitt matchup. Clemson snuck away in Pitt with a tough win. I will say it was a gritty win. We should have blown them out in my opinion. Had that early lead early in the game, and then just kind of went droughty and let Pitt come back. We're going to jump right into that. First off, I'm going to start off first play from scrimmage on offense. Um, Freshman Elijah Thurman goes down, and he was huge for us last week. With a couple guys being injured, especially with Marcus Tate and Tristan Lee not traveling to Pitt this weekend, he was going to be the guy on the offensive line this week, and he got rolled up on first play of the game. So right there, he's done for the year. And I mean, that was the first play of the game. So you're like, that was like, okay, he was supposed to play 4 quarters of ball, so we had to make a lot of substitutions. Put Blake Miller on the end. Harris Sewell comes in, Trent Howard comes in. It was just, you're just trying to scramble around. You got to get to a different game plan because you planned on Thurman being in there. But yeah, that sucks. Losing him for the year, Devo says. He's going to need some kind of cleanup surgery, I'm guessing. But he said hopefully we'll have him back for spring ball. We're going to talk about this running game. Phil Maffa, you hear Phil Maffa's name and you're expecting, to look at the box score and he have 100 rush yards a game, 150 a game. And, it just, I don't know what it was about this Pitt defense. They're not very good. And Clemson just could not get the running game going at all versus them. And it was just like, we get a run for about 4 or 5 yards and, then we lose 5 yards. We were in the negative for a while. And, I think right at halftime we were at like 2 rushing yards total, and we could never get it going. Phil ended the day 17 carries for 17 yards, long of 6 yards, but should have had a lot more. Just could not establish that run game at all. It was just like you had to throw the ball, and I will say quarterback Cade Klubnik just continues to perform well. He still gets a lot of criticism, even with these injuries, like with the O-line, stuff like that. Last weekend at Virginia Tech, it was first to criticize Cade, um, even with a lot of the wide receiver drops. But quarterback Cade Klubnik, he finished his night off 27 for 41, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Finished with a QBR of 67.2. I think in the first. It had to be the first half. It wasn't the first quarter. I don't think so. It was like the first half. He was like 20 something for 26. He was 23 for 26, I think, with 3 drops. And there was some big drops in this game. Beautiful ball to Jake Brinkstall downfield. I mean, puts it in the breadbasket. He drops it. TJ Moore had a couple drops. Troy Stellato had a huge drop. Just gotta help 2 out, man. 2. I will say Cade's doing anything he can for this offense, and this wide receiver room is 10 times better than it was last year, in my opinion. And a lot of people criticize Tyler Grisham, for his job and this and that, but I think Tyler Grisham has these guys where he wants. He's bringing in these guys, and if you get rid of somebody like Tyler Grisham, who these guys want to play for and respect so much, you might lose some of these guys to the portal. So, and before you're just quick to throw out the coach, people are going to drop him. I get it. TJ and Bryant Westco are both young freshmen. They're going to drop balls. Jake's going to drop balls here and there. But, just anything, you just got to help your quarterback out if he's putting the ball on the money. You just got to come down with it because it hurts you later when you're up 17-7 at one point and then you're down with a minute left in the ball game. But Antonio Williams, week in, week out, we've said he's wide receiver 1, no doubt about it. He ended the night on 13 catches, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. Anywhere 0 is, he's catching the ball. He had that first touchdown of the game, and then it was a deep streak route, second touchdown of the game. Probably could have had another one, but coming off some late drops, not getting the ball moved, stalling out a lot. It was just it sucked because we really had to rely on this throwing game all night, And I trust quarterback Kate Klubnik and these wide receivers, but with a young O-line that group has not played together at all this year. And I was like, one of the first times I've seen Trent Howard get over like 10 snaps. And it was really tough. And, you're losing a lot of starters on defense, especially this is now the third week without Devontae Capehart, Shelton Lewis. You finally got Peter Woods back for that game. You had Trey Williams back, even he was shaken up against Louisville, Virginia Tech. But they all played, and the defense came up when it mattered. Pitt had a lot of offense. I will say. I think quarterback ended up throwing for 350. They rushed for a total. Well, they only rushed for 88 yards, but they threw the ball. They threw the ball really well. It was they had that little whip around with the running back Reed. That kid's dangerous. He's really good. He's a really good running back. He can run those whip around routes, stuff like that. Nate Yarnell was not a sleeper. We were going to this game, Pitt's playing their backup. This is going to be a monsoon game. Clemson wins by 40. This kid's a veteran. He's not going to just go out here and, I'm the backup, this and that, and, take all these hits. That kid was ready to play, and he was slinging it. It was like they always had something over the middle of the field, open. It was like we could not cover that middle of the field. Every time I looked, there was somebody open. I'm like, we're getting busted coverage somewhere. I want to shout out Barrett Carter. They threw a deep ball. It wasn't a deep ball. It's kind of like over the middle of the field. Nobody's on this guy. You got a 6 foot, 180-pound wide receiver, catching a ball, and you got Barrett Carter, big stout dude behind him, and he saves a touchdown. Tripped him up, saved the touchdown. So shout out to him. Or who knows? I can't remember what the score of the game was at that time, but it could have, they could have changed the game a lot. I think it saved us in a way, because it was either right before halftime or it was like going into the fourth quarter or something like that. But I couldn't tell. But it was just like a horrendous second half for this Clemson team. I thought the first quarter we moved the ball well. We scored 14 in the first half, scored 17, actually scored a field goal, made a field goal, actually. We haven't been able to say that in a while. Actually, we did make one late in the game at Virginia Tech. But, the first one got blocked for a return for a touchdown. So, when they sent the field goal team out, Clemson fans, fingers crossed, and Nolan drilled it. I never thought he was the problem with the field goal problems. It was always the left side of the line getting blown up. But we might have it figured out, because Pitt, they sent it. They sent the house on it, I will say. And that Pitt team's a tough team, man. And it sucks that they've dropped 3 in a row, because they're a good club. And obviously, the ACC haters, the South Carolina Gamecock fans, are going to say, "Oh, you about lost to old Pitt, little high school Pitt." We'd beat them by 30. South Carolina fans would say, Pitt's not as terrible as people think. I mean, they were 7-0 2 weeks ago. Now they're 7-3, which sucks, because they didn't have their starting quarterback. But like I just said, this guy playing for them was ready. He's a veteran guy. He's not afraid to go out there and play versus Clemson. He said, "I'm coming out here to kick Clemson's ass tonight." That's what he was doing. He was very confident. There was never a doubt in his mind that he could not go out there and throw it around on our defense. And he did. He threw for 350 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And the interception was obviously the game ender that we'll get to in a second. But before we get into that, we're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsors.
Are you tired of scrolling endlessly to find the perfect deal?
Who said that?
Me.
Ah! Who are you? How did you get in my house?
Be not afraid. I'm the Frugal Fairy. See, at the Frugaling Shop, we bring the best deals to your doorstep, so you can spend less time searching and more time saving.
Yes, hello? There's a man with wings standing in my living room, and I'm scared.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. That's what Harbor Oasis became for me, a slice of home in Anderson, South Carolina. I stumbled upon this heartwarming marketplace. Roaming through aisles of handcrafted treasures and local art, I felt each piece whispering stories of passion and dedication. It's a place where warmth meets creativity. Join me in experiencing this magical oasis. Explore the beauty, attend soul-enriching workshops, and support local artisans. See for yourself how Harbor Oasis can become a part of your story too. Experience the joy today at Harbor Oasis, located at 5013 SC 24 in Anderson. Have you ever stumbled upon a flavor sensation that sweeps you off your feet? That's Waffle Drop. Nestled in the heart of Greenville, we've spun up the traditional bubble waffle, a thrilling mix of pancake and waffle into an art form. From the whimsical Lil Blue Panda to the decadent Ferrero Rocher ice cream, every bite is an adventure. Imagine savoring a bubble waffle wrapped around your favorite ice cream. Now stop imagining. Visit us at Hampton Station or our new location at 500 Congaree Road in Greenville, which is open during the week to embark on your own delightful journey. Buy now and feel the happiness we blend into every serving. Experience the joy today at Waffle Drop.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Sunday Reset here with Cole Gerard. We were just talking about that, Pitt, quarterback, tough guy, veteran guy, not scared to go out there and play football. And, he looked like a starter out there. So we're going to dive right into the end of that game. I'm trying to think of the score, 24. It was a 17 all ball game. Pitt's got it. Or actually, I'm going to lead up to that game, to that play. We're midfield, driving, not even driving. We're dead. We've ran the ball like 2 or 3 times, and it gets 4th and 1. There's nobody on the right side blocking, and we run a halfback toss to the right side, gets blown up, Phil fumbles, goes out of bounds, doesn't turn the ball over. We turn it over on downs, but he doesn't lose the fumble, and it goes the way that way. But so Pitt takes over midfield about, I would say, 4 minutes left, 4 minutes left, and they're driving. They're moving the ball. They're throwing the ball well. I think this is the drive. I can't remember. I remember, but I can't remember if this was the one that they had 3 false starts in a row. I'm pretty sure it is. They had like 3 false starts in a row, literally, back to back to back. Fans are booing. We get a couple sacks. It's third down. It's third down, or second or third down. We send it all. We send the blitz. D. Creighton comes in like that, pushes the guys, helmet back. The Pitt fans are booing. Pat Narduzzi's booing. The play blows dead, and there's no foul thrown. There's no flag thrown. They start discussing it. Just 5 minutes after the play they called dead. There's no penalty. It would have been 4th down. I can't remember if that was off 2nd down or 3rd down. It was either going to be third and long or 4th and long. No penalty again. They missed the call. I will say it was the right call if they would have made it when it was live. He came in, forced it with his hands, throw it back. You got to call that live. You can't, they go in discussion. 5 minutes later, they throw a flag on the 45-yard line. Dabo's like, what are you throwing? What is this? Did we get an after the play penalty? What's going on? They're like, after discussion, unnecessary roughness or some kind of, it wasn't necessary. It might've been unnecessary roughness or something, but they were even trying to review targeting. And of course, early in the game, Sammy Brown got, and I get it. He led with his head like that, but he hit him in the chest. And, Dad was like, what is targeting anymore? Miami's got bailed out 3 or 4 times this year with actual head-to-head contact. Sam Brown hit somebody in the chest, and he gets called for targeting. And roughing the passer, he's gone. He sat out that second half, so he doesn't have to miss anything next week against the Citadel, which wouldn't really matter. But, I'm not going to say that. Dabo treats all his opponents with class. He's going to treat them all like they're Alabama, and I respect that. But, they throw that late flag. They reviewed targeting, I think, and, nothing was found with that, but they, it was just a late penalty. And, even the announcer's like, it's the right call, but you got to call it live. You can't throw the flag 5 minutes after discussion. And I just didn't get that. And so that sets them up, well into their territory. They're about on the 30-yard line. They just run the ball. You get a couple first downs. They're going to run the ball down to about, a couple seconds left, kick a field goal, and go home. Win. Beat Clemson for the second time in 3 years because they beat us at their house in 2021 as well. Thankfully, Clemson gets a couple sacks, a couple stops. We forced them to kick a field goal with about 1:35 left in the ball game. Pitt goes up 20-17, and this Clemson football team gets the football back and scored in 3 plays. I'm just going to keep it simple as that, and it's 2 words: K. Klubnik. This guy has just been there for the whole season, doing everything he can to give this offense an opportunity to succeed. And I've always been a huge Cade guy, and we're going to take a look at this game-winning play for the Clemson Tigers that snuck them away with a 24-20 win in Pittsburgh.
He takes off, running up the middle, first down, inside the 35, he's going to go! Cade Klubnik, touchdown Clemson, 50 yards!
Well, just an amazing job. You see 5 defenders in the box right here, and what do you have? You have 6 blockers when you include Phil Moffitt. You know what that means? Bad ball for the defense. And Cade Klubnik sees it, it's perfectly blocked, it's perfectly executed, and then he beats the safety, McMillan, around the edge, gets to the sideline, puts on the Jets in the open field, and he's out the gate. What a great call, and what a great execution.
So, yeah, you just saw it yourself. You know, I thought to myself, did we score too fast? You know, did we give them too much time because they still had 2 timeouts on the field? It was definitely a little nerve-wracking in a case. So, you know, we go up 24-20. You know, the sidelines pumped up. The Clemson fans in the stadium are pumped up. You know, there wasn't a lot of people there in the first place, but, you know, that gave this Clemson team, you know, the confidence, you know, that life, and, you know, that pumped the defense to go up out there and play. And, you know, it kind of got scary here for a second because, you know, there's a minute 10. You know, this quarterback's been slinging the ball all day. They got 2 timeouts. The first play from scrimmage after the kickoff, it's a sack. They have to burn their first timeout. It's like 45 seconds left after this. You know, they get a couple throws. They're about midfield. About midfield with about 30-ish seconds left. Get a couple first downs. You know, they're about at the – I'd say they're about at the 40, 35-yard line. Complete another pass up the middle, in the middle of the field. Burn their last timeout, so they're at no timeouts again. Right about the 20, 25, 30-yard line. The next play from snap, that he drops back, throws it, and he would have had his tight end right here in the middle of the field. Probably would have got at least to the 10-yard line, if not the 5-yard line. They would have maybe scored, and TJ Parker blocked it. It was an incomplete pass, this and that. But they had a couple opportunities. Like the next play, they threw it, and Ashton Hampton had a chance to pick it off. He was diving like Superman and went straight to his arms, and the guy slid in the end zone and literally catches the ball but drops it. It hits the ground first. And I'm like, he caught it. He caught it. They just scored. And they showed the replay. I mean, he didn't celebrate. So obviously, it wasn't a touchdown, but, you know, from live action, it looked like he might have scored. And, he did it. And next play, Khalil Barnes comes up with that interception. You know, Clemson sneaks out of Pitt with a win, a gritty win. It wasn't pretty at all means. Obviously, this isn't the same kind of Clemson sparked offense we saw before the bye week, which sucks because, and I'm a Clemson fan. I'm going to tell you that in and out. You know, I'm always going to support the Tigers. I think we're a good team. I really do. I don't think injuries are helping us out at all either. It's not fighting our case. We need some miracles around the league. SMU almost lost to Boston College tonight, but Boston College sold it with about a minute left. So they lost. Our best chance and hope is for Miami to drop a game to Wake Forest or Syracuse. And I really think the Syracuse Orange have a chance to beat Miami in Syracuse, New York. You know, the Dome's a tough play to play there at the JMW Wireless Dome in Syracuse, New York. We know that as Clemson fans. So, you know, if Syracuse can score, if we get that good Kyle McCord, you know, this might be a ball game because Miami's defense is terrible. If you can just score against Miami, you have a chance. So, you know, Clemson moves on to 7-2. I think so, no, 8-2. I'm sorry. So had one loss in the conference, which sucks. If you just beat Louisville, you're in the driver's seat. You're probably top 6 in the country. You know, you're going to play in Charlotte in a couple of weeks. But hey, it's not completely off the table. This is the Roy bus. This is what Dabo likes. The rest of y'all do what you got to do. You know, Clemson doesn't control their own dynasty in this situation. You know, we had to win. We had to win out. In the ACC, we did. We beat Pitt, beat Virginia Tech on the road. That's tough, man. You losing at home like that at Louisville, and then you have to play back-to-back weeks on the road against 2 offenses that we know aren't terrible. But, you know, Virginia Tech's offense didn't play good at all that night, so that kind of helped us out. We were scoreless in the first half of that game. So I'm giving this Clemson team a lot of props for that. that's tough, especially coming off their home loss and having to go play on the road back-to-back weeks. So, we play Cross State Military School, the Citadel this weekend. So it's always good to play them. So our purple out to military college, we do our military appreciation day. And then we got the South Carolina Gamecocks at home. And this is going to be one of the best Palmetto Bowls in my lifetime. I'm 20 years old and, I grew up, with the 5 years in a row and, early Bowden days, this and that. But, when have we seen a 3-loss South Carolina team come to the Valley to play a 2-loss Clemson team, potential game day matchup? I have a feeling they're going to go to Texas A&M, but it's not completely off the table. But we're really going to be some huge Wake Forest fans this weekend if they can do it against Miami. But we're going to be really huge Syracuse Orange fans in 2 weeks when the Hurricanes travel to Syracuse, New York, and we're going to talk about this Clemson-Boise State basketball game. Do a quick recap. Clemson lost the game 84-71 today. But as soon as we get back from this commercial break, we're going to jump into that for a little bit before we head out.
Nick and Norman's is a brand new restaurant on the West End. Located at 1 Augusta Street, we are bringing unique Southern-inspired cuisine and a speakeasy vibe to Greenville. Created by an ownership group headlined by Norman Reedus and Greg Nicotero, Nick and Norman's is more than just a restaurant. It's a destination for an unforgettable dining experience. Our hours are Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Our phone number is 864-236-5446. We also have a private dining room, so call for booking. Be sure to follow us on social media, on Instagram and on Facebook.
They say a home is a safe haven, but what about when that safety is threatened? Last year, a storm hit our area hard, and suddenly the roof over my head, my family's shelter, was compromised. I felt vulnerable. But then Canopy Roofing stepped in. Their dedication, much like that of a caring family, restored more than just our roof. They restored our sense of security. If you're ever in need, let Canopy protect your haven too. Experience the same peace of mind. See for yourself how Canopy Roofing can safeguard your family's comfort and safety.
Have you ever bitten into a pizza and just known your taste buds were experiencing something totally unique? That was me at Crust and Craft in Greenville. Nestled right at 123 South Main Street, this isn't your average pizza joint. Their claim of "we do pizza differently" couldn't be truer. With creations like the Low Country Seafood Boil Pizza and exquisite $10 lunch specials, they're crafting flavors that defy the norm. Plus, the vibe? Unbeatable, especially with their new cocktail menu to sip on the patio. Head over to Crust and Craft Greenville, taste the difference for yourself, and seriously, do not miss out on their happy hour. Grab your slice of heaven today.
Ever find yourself needing custom gear that really stands out? At Carolina Printing Sports and Trophy in Hartsville, SC, we personalize everything from t-shirts to trophies, making sure your brand or team logo pops. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, or dazzling plaques, we've got you covered. Swing by today and let's create something unique just for you.
Welcome back to the Best Damn Sunday Reset with your host, Gerard. You just heard from some of our local sponsors. We're going to talk about this Clemson Boise State game real quick. They met this afternoon, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. So it's been about, I guess, like 11:30 over there in Idaho. Clemson did not sneak away with this win. Clemson's on the year 3-1. Boise State 3-1. We lost 84-71. This is a good matchup early in the game. Clemson's got off to a hot start, 7-0. Thanks to Chase Hunter. We're gonna talk about Chase Hunter to this game because I feel like it was all Chase Hunter. It was like, who could help him out, and it was sucked. Due to Boise State's late run, it just sucks because they won by 14. So, like I said, Chase Hunter. 2 words, Chase Hunter. The career high 30 points, 12 for 21 from field goal, 4 from 8 from 3. So I just said 4 from 8 from 3, and our team finished with. Where is the 3? 6. We went 6 for 25 from 3-point. Chase Hunter had 4 of them. So that shows you all you need to know about who the lead scorer was for the Clemson Tigers today. And we just couldn't get anything going up under the basket. And, Victor Lakin has actually had double figures in all 4 of the games this year. He's finished with double-digit points, but, Jaden Zachary had 6 points. Ian Shefflin only had 8. Wiggins had 6. Ian had 12 boards, which was good. Our bench didn't do anything, really. We had 8 points off the bench tonight. That can't happen. You're supposed to have a great bench, go out there, and there was nothing we could do with it. Couldn't get anything. And I will say that might have been one, and I hope Brad Brownell put this in his post-game presser. I haven't watched it yet. Please tell me he made any kind of comments about the officiating today, because it was terrible. It was straight up terrible. It was like anytime we went down and drove the basket and it was tough contact, it was just a clean block. We turn the ball over, whatever. Anytime we go down there and we're playing good defense, if Boise State misses the ball, they're either getting an offensive rebound or we're getting called from some kind of foul. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being biased. It was the most absurd. It was the most absurd thing I watched with these refs. Like, how are you calling these kind of, like, literally there's a jump ball. There's a jump ball called. Ian Shefflin has clear possession of the ball, and we're down low in the paint. Clear possession. This guy's just over here feeling for it. The guy calls jump balls their possession. That's when they went on a little run. So yeah, that's their 15th straight win at home, and so then they've lost at home in 2 years. I don't know how many. Actually, they didn't lose at all last year, so that's what they said. But Boise State won this game 84-71 thanks to Chase Hunter. We had life, and we just got to get it going. We got to get Ian Shefflin going down low. Don't let him shoot the 3 ball as much as he'd like, even though he shot over 50% last season. We got to get Jaden Zachary shooting some more threes. Jake Highbreeder had 0 points today. He's been our weapon the last couple of games, and I feel like he's going to get it. That was just the 4th game of the year. Everybody's having their meltdowns on Twitter and stuff, but I'm not. It's the 4th game. Going to Boise like that, that's a tough road environment. It's a big arena too. I was telling one of my friends, I was like, dang, their stadium has 3 decks in a basketball stadium. I was like, geez, and it was sold out. That Boise State's a good team who lost by double digits to San Francisco a couple weeks ago, who Clemson plays in next week. So we play Radford in the first round, like the Sunshine Classic. It's the home game, and then you go to Daytona. So we'll match up with San Francisco there. But this Chase Hunter is insane. Where it's just, if he has the ball, he's going in the basket. He's played 37 minutes, 12 for 21, field goal, like I said, 4 from 8 from 3, 0 rebounds. He had 6 assists. He only committed 2 fouls on the night. With 30 points. So props to you, Chase Hunter, because that's insane basketball. But like I said, it's the 4th game of the year. This Clemson team has got the weapons. We got the bench. Today just didn't go in our favor. Like I said, it was a horrible officiating crew, so that doesn't help you out at all when you're having to completely sub guys in and out. Because, I think Shefflin had 2 or 3 fouls in the first half, and Zachary had, I think, 2 in the first half. Lakin had 2 in the first half. So you were just trying to, keep as many guys subbed in as you could, so you couldn't really get a bench in there to score, and you couldn't have your starters in there to score much. So it was just a weird day, and I hate it because this Clemson team is really good, and like I said, it's only the 4th game of the year, so it's going to be a fun season. And I like that Brad Brownell is scheduling these out of conference games to set us up for the ACC play, because Boise State's a good team. They're going to be a tournament team, like I said. So we have a tough non-conference this year, and I feel like it was like last year too, and it set us up well for ACC, and I think we contributed well to ACC play, and I think we're going to be better in ACC this year. So I'm excited. We got Radford at home this Thursday. Clemson women's basketball hosts Dawn Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks this Wednesday at 7:00 in Little John. It's either 5 or 7. So make your way out there to Little John for the Sean Poppy era first game against Dawn Staley. Call me crazy, but I don't think that this Clemson women's basketball team is completely out of that game. I know I might sound insane, and they probably are not going to win the ball game. But something about Sean Poppy just tells me, he's getting all these recruits. And, when you see a women's basketball recruit, they probably got, all these good teams like Duke, NC State. I'm trying to think of the other one, like Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, stuff like that. and you see Clemson, all these girls commitment, like they're top 5. Like, geez. So yeah. And then Clemson soccer lost a heartbreaker in penalty kicks today. The final score was 1-1, but Wake took the advantage 7-6 on PKs to win the ACC championship. But hey, we got unfinished business. A lot of ball to play left. Let's go defend that title. Noonan is easily one of the top 3 coaches on campus, and he has proven this Clemson soccer program, and it's almost becoming like football where you're expecting Clemson soccer and Mike Noonan to come back with a national championship. And, they look to reclaim that title this year. And I truly think they're capable of it. So it's going to be a fun week of Clemson athletics. They're starting soccer starting NCAA tournament this week. Clemson basketball's at home. Clemson women's basketball's at home against South Carolina, number 1 team in the nation. I think they're still number 1. And then, got Clemson football back in the Valley. 2 more home games. That's it, man. This season went by fast. Feel like we were just in Atlanta, Georgia, for that Georgia game, that blowout Georgia game. But this season went by fast. So it's getting towards the end, and it's going to be time for postseason ball. Hopefully, our Clemson Tigers can find that magic. Don't control their own destiny. Hope these teams, big Syracuse Orange fans, big Wake Forest Demon Deacons fans this week. So we'll see if they can do it. I'm your host, Cole Gerard, as always, with the Best Damn Sunday Reset, and we'll see you guys next week.
No.